welcome back. So let's continue. And before we begin, if you want to check my previous video or any other video that are related to this topic, all the links will be in the description box. You can check it there. So let's move on to question number 119. After a cold, a patient has feeling of facial numbness on the right. Examination has shown disorders of pain and temperature sensitivity on the right half of face. Which nerve has been injured? So if you remember that all the muscles, facial muscles are supplied, the motor function is by facial nerve, and all the sensory innervation of the face is by trigeminal nerve. And also the muscles of mastication are also innervated by the trigeminal nerve. So you can see this is the trigeminal ganglion, and it has three main branches: the ophthalmic, maxillary, and mandibular branch, and it supplies to the different part of the face. We can also write it down. For example, the ophthalmic, you can see it supplies to the scalp, forehead, the dorsum of the nose, the upper eyelid and its conjunctiva, and also what is present here, the lacrimal gland. So let's write down the scalp, the forehead, upper eyelid and its conjunctiva, and also the dorsum of nose. Or they can even ask you which nerve supplies to the tip of the nose or the root of the nose. Then the answer will be what? The ophthalmic nerve. That is the branch of the trigeminal nerve. But it also supplies to the sinuses. Which sinuses? The femoral, ethmoidal, and the sphenoid sinus. Now let's look at the area supplied by the maxillary nerve. It is the temples, the cheeks, the lateral part of the nose, the lower eyelid, the upper lip, and the upper teeth and gums, etc. So it supplies to the cheeks, the lateral part of the nose. It supplies to the cheeks, the lower eyelid and the conjunctiva, and the lateral part of the nose. And but it also supplies the upper lip, teeth, and gingiva. All this is supplied by the maxillary nerve. And what sinus? You know that in what sinus is present here? That is the maxillary sinus. So the maxillary nerve supplies to the maxillary sinus. And mandibular, again, it's very easy. The lower lip, chin, and the lower teeth. So the lower lip, chin, lower teeth, and gingiva. And if you remember, it also supplies to the anterior two-thirds of the tongue, but only the general sensation, the special, that is the taste sensation, was by the facial nerve. So that was about the branches of the trigeminal nerve, the areas it was supplying. So let's move on to the next question. In this, the patient has absent cremasteric reflex. The sensitivity is disordered on the internal surface of thigh and the scrotum. So first of all, let's look at a list of nerves of the lower limb. It is actually the first list. These are the nerves that are originating from the lumbar plexus. So you have the iliohypogastric, ilioinguinal, genitofemoral, lateral cutaneous nerve of thigh, obturator, and femoral nerve. So you can see all the Sensory supply of the lower limb. So the iliohypogastric nerve, it supplies to the skin over the pubic region and also the lateral, like the superior part of lateral thigh, the ilioinguinal nerve, and the genitofemoral nerve. So the genitofemoral nerve has two branches, the femoral and the genital branch. The genital branch supplies to the scrotum in males or the labia majora in females, and the femoral branch, it supplies to the most superior part of the anterior thigh. And again, the lateral cutaneous nerve, the lateral part of thigh, the femoral nerve. So it supplies to the anterior thigh and also the medial leg. The branch, saphenous nerve, is a branch of femoral nerve which supplies to the medial leg. And so you can see the saphenous nerve, the branch of femoral nerve which supplies the medial leg. Like overall, this whole area is supplied by the femoral nerve. And the obturator nerve, it supplies to the medial part of thigh. So like here, I have written all of them: the genital branch, the femoral branch, the lateral cutaneous nerve of thigh, the femoral branch, even the saphenous nerve. So you can write this in your notes and like revise it again and again. It's better if you revise, if you learn the muscles as well. So here you can see the in that question, the cremasteric reflex was absent, and the nerve supplying the genitofemoral muscle, the nerve supplying the cremasteric muscle was the genitofemoral nerve, and it was also supplying to the scrotum and the upper anterior thigh. So that was all that was written in this question: the scrotum, the thigh, and the cremasteric reflex. So the answer is what? Genitofemoral nerve. So since we were talking about the nerves of lower limb, let's also talk about these two questions that are from the mystery book as well. So in this patient, he has waddling gait, and like there's some problem with walking, and also the main part that is hip reduction is impossible. So hip reduction, or you can say the adduction of thigh is impossible. That is, if this is the axis, of the body, so again the leg, so movement of leg away from the axis is called the abduction, and movement of leg towards the axis of body is called adduction, or here they have written reduction. So the answer is what? The obturator nerve. You can also see in this list I have written, it supplies to all the adductors that are in the medial compartment of thigh. You can write here as well. It supplies a medial compartment of muscle, or medial compartment of thigh, and all are the function of all these muscles are basically the adduction of thigh. And femoral nerve, it supplies to the muscles that are in the anterior compartment of thigh. So it causes the muscles in the anterior compartment, they cause a flexion at hip joint, but extension at the knee joint. Extension at the knee. So in this question, the next question, the patient has damaged greater psoas muscle and he cannot straighten or extend his leg in the knee joint. So I already told you that femoral nerve, it causes extension at the knee joint, that is by the quadratus femoris muscle, but flexion at the hip joint, which is caused by all these iliacus, and you can see the psoas major as well, iliopsoas muscle. So this was a short review of the nerves of the lower limb. Okay, so let's move on to the next question. That they are saying that there is a tumor in the third ventricle of the brain and it has caused such symptoms. That is sleep disturbance, disorder of thermoregulation, all kinds of metabolism and diabetes insipidus. So first of all, you know that a hypothalamus is at the base. Hypothalamus, it is present at the base of third ventricle. So it is present at the base of third ventricle. So obviously, if there's a tumor in the cavity of third ventricle, it's gonna irritate the nuclei that are present in the hypothalamus. So there's a wide variety of lists, or so there are many nuclei that are present in hypothalamus. That is mainly associated with the physiology. So we will discuss it in physiology. But these disturbance like sleep disturbance because of the circadian rhythm is managed by the suprachiasmatic nuclei of hypothalamus. Disorder of thermoregulation, you know that hypothalamus regulates the temperature, body temperature. Metabolism and diabetes insipidus. So diabetes insipidus, why? Because the hypothalamus was producing two hormones, vasopressin and oxytocin. So actually it was produced by hypothalamus, but they were stored in posterior pituitary. Because there's tumor and stuff, so the production of these hormones are now compromised. So there's also present diabetes insipidus. So the answer will be hypothalamus. So like you have like the basic anatomical location and its relation with other structures, and also these symptoms, all these are indicating towards what? Hypothalamus. And these are no other options are no way related to all these symptoms. Next question. X-ray examination of skull has shown epiphyseal enlargement caused by a brain tumor. What part of brain has pathological changes? So this is basically they're talking about the hypophyseal fossa in the sphenoid bone. So here the answer, you know that in the saddle-like or in the sella turcica of sphenoid bone, there's present pituitary gland. So the answer should be actually the hypophysis and not hypothalamus, because it is actually the pituitary gland that is present in the hypophyseal fossa in the sphenoid bone and not the hypothalamus itself. However, from the other options that are in this question, the best answer would be the hypothalamus. So what is present in the metathalamus? So metathalamus is formed by the medial and lateral geniculate body of thalamus. So that is metathalamus. And epithalamus, it is formed mainly by pineal gland. There are also habenullar nuclei and stria medullaris, but that's not as important as pineal gland. So best answer is hypothalamus.